Recording this video after close of trade Thursday, 3rd of October 2013. Hope you had a great day's trading, and that's what I'm talking about. This is a sell-off, so this is what I've been looking for. You know, I repeat myself a lot, I'm sure you think, but on the weekend talked about exhaustion pattern, first bullish divergence, and all the divergence patterns like this. When they line up closer and closer to zero line, look for that sell-off. This thing is not going to be over until we see that, and that's what we got today. Bang! That sell-off's going to be as big as the exhaustion pattern, or maybe a flush pattern kind of close to it. So what we got today was a kind of a classic. So there we go, bang, down into those 60s. And I suppose this pattern's a little bit unusual that we had the exhaustion pattern kind of in between, but that's when they closed the gap at 1680 and then they just ran it up to 1690s, and that was all short covering rally. Everybody was short, the gap got filled, but as soon as it went above that, everybody was thinking what the hell's going on, and that was that kind of covering volume kind of going on there. But it was going to happen. We out of these straight line kind of patterns, volume, people, demotions and so on. It's not kind of straight lines, it's not physics. This is people and crowd behavior. Bang, there it was. So on the 45-minute chart, it wasn't quite as extreme. It was decent, on the 45-minute chart, kind of down here. But now, we're on a downtrend on the 45-minute chart. We're below a support line here. This has got to run pullback to end of trend, so let's see where this kind of goes. And when that pullback trend of trend syncs up with the cyclical support on the daily chart, which we're still a few days away from, the fast and the slow lines on better sine wave have not crossed over yet. So we're looking for that cyclical support, but that's going to come in when the 45-minute kind of cycle kind of comes in there. So let's see. We're still going to be heading down or testing these lows and so on. So it was a big range today, 20 points. So tomorrow, I don't know, we might look for who knows, this could could be it, in the 1720s, the Benaki high, and that's it, on better X trend with all the trends we've kind of changed into downtrends. I'm sure we'll have bounces along the way or whatever, but this 1720 level was pretty key. So we've got to see that pull back to end of trend on the 45-minute chart. 2.0 million contracts traded today, decent volume, but still looking for that support kind of coming in. And I know I keep on going on about that, but here's the euro. We're up at 36s now. That blue professional bar through resistance, that's jumping the creek. Again, there's going to be up days and down days and whatever kind of goes on, but we have not had an exhaustion buying pattern on the daily chart yet. So we're breaking up and breaking up, but it's not kind of accelerated and started to really push the volumes up yet. So it's going to wait and see on that. In terms of day trading today, it was an awesome day. I must admit I started off directionally incorrect, which was 1500 tip bar chart coming into this, all these blue professional bars between 7:30 and 8:30, bang 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 bang, all of that going on. It was also on the 4500 tip bar chart, cyclical resistance with a bearish divergence. On the 500 tip bar chart was pullback to end of trend and then a push back up with an exhaustion pattern, bang. So everything was kind of lining up to roll over at that point. We had triple cyclical resistance, we had end of trends on the 500 tip bar chart, blah 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 blah. But I always say there's always a strong kind of likelihood that they want to use the full liquidity of the day. We'd had that exhaustion pattern at the end of yesterday, that they'd look for that exhaustion pattern during the full liquidity of the day. And I had a question the other day. Someone was asking, what do I mean by full liquidity of the day? This is the after hours session here. Yeah, towards the open it gets kind of exciting, there's kind of volume going through, but nothing like the volume that you see during a day trading session, particularly at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. And if you've got thousands of contracts you've got to move through, you're going to seriously move the market kind of pre-open if you try and do that. You wait till the full liquidity of the day when everybody's at their seats, trading away, you've got all the volume to kind of play with. So that's what I mean by the full liquidity of the day. It's like you've got the maximum availability of volume in order to put your positions on and cause the minimum amount of kind of slippage. So I was looking for an exhaustion pattern kind of first thing before it kind of reversed and went the other way, and so I made a 3-point loss on my first trade. I was long 83.75. But as soon as it wasn't working out, I got in on this little retrace. As soon as it kind of came back down here, exited, 3-point loss, went short at this point here, bang, we just fall off into a downtrend. Now, the lesson for today is it looked like a decent pattern for a reversal here on the 1500 tip bar chart. We've gone pullback to end of trend, and we've got exhaustion kind of down here. Now when the exhaustion happens on the end of trend signal, I say wait for the second cyclical turn after end of trend, which is there. We'd put in bullish divergence in the meantime, kind of around here, so that was all kind of looking good. It was a Rambo pattern here. Potentially we had a reversal on our hands here, that this was the end of this move on the way down, and that we kind of reverse at this point. So I was actually, what was I doing? Yeah, I went long 73.25, then exited with 1.5 point loss. It was just way too early, and here's why. So that's the 1500 tip bar chart. If you look at the 4500 tip bar chart, that same area that we were moving in around here. Let me just check on this where I'm actually talking about. Yes, I'm talking 72 to 74. So around this area here, you'll note we haven't had exhaustion selling, and there's really not very many blue professional bars here. We've had one on this little kind of spike down, but we didn't see any here, and we're well below support on the 4500 tip bar chart. So this has got to go pull back to end of trend. And so we kind of consolidated around that area. I got out of that long trade and went short again at 71.75, and then bang, then it lurched down. Yeah, that's not enough to end it. Look at all these blue professional bars that come in with that exhaustion selling, that mirrors the exhaustion selling up here. So that's what we're looking for. The bullish divergence kind of comes in on the 1500 tip bar chart. That end point was then a beautiful pull back to end of trend. You can see all those exhaustion patterns, and first bullish divergence kind of comes in, all those blue professional bars coming in at the lows here, and then we had an opportunity to kind of race the other way, go the other way, but then it goes into a pullback to end of trend with flush patterns, Rambo patterns up here, and we end the day really weak kind of down there. So that's kind of the takeaway from today, is that looked like a good kind of reversal point, but if you look at the higher time frame, there's nothing to stop us here at the moment. There's no blue professional bars. We haven't had exhaustion to mirror this. We needed to see this move into here to see all those blue professional bars, the exhaustion patterns and the bullish divergence come in to find that low in the 65s. So that's that. And then the other point just to note on these, let me just pull up the scroll bar here just to show you, on these 4500 tip bar charts here, this is what I've been talking about the last few days. Look at all these blue professional bars kind of coming into the highs with exhaustion patterns, bang, bang, bang. Another one the next day. I mean, we had a couple down here on the 45 yesterday, but there was a whole family of them kind of coming into that high there and kind of U-turning, kind of getting short there. It's like we've seen all these blue professional bars happening at the highs lately. They have not been happening at the lows. Today, different story. Here we go. Here's all these blue professional bars kind of down here. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. All of a sudden we're down in the 65s. We were up at 1720s not too many days ago. So, but totally different pattern. These 2 days we had blue professional bars at the highs, very few at the lows. The professionals have been shorting these little spikes up. They've been forcing the market up into 90s, into the 80s again, and then kind of getting short here. This, when we drop down to 65, different looking kind of pattern. Whole bunch of blue professional bars, those exhaustion patterns kind of coming in. We've got more blue professional bars here. Let's wait and see how this kind of turns out. I'm not going to be calling a left shoulder, and we're going to be making supports just yet. Let's just see how it travels, because it's been pretty weak, but it was a great day trading. Hope you traded it well. I'm not going to tag on any day trades today. I think people get a bit fed up of kind of seeing and listening to those. They probably just tune out. Anyway, I hope your trading is going well, and looking forward to, what is it, tomorrow's going to be Friday. So good.